this question. Okay, so what's the glomerulus? Glomerulus. This is afferent arterial, capillary tuft, vertebral capillaries, or vasa rectum. C. Yes, answer is C. Capillary tuft. Yes, glomerulus is capillary tuft. It's the part of the renal corpuscle. Yes, renal corpuscle. And which type of capillaries? Fenestrated capillaries. Then, what is the renal pyramid and its associated cortex referred to? Renal pyramid with cortex. Its medulla, lobe, renal columns, nephron, or medullary ray. What is renal pyramid and its associated cortex? Its medulla, lobe, renal columns, nephron, medullary rays. The renal lobe, of course, this is the renal lobe. Yes, renal lobe. Renal columns, you know, medullary rays, yes, projections from medulla into the cortex, renal columns from cortex into the medulla. Next, approximately how many nephrons are there in each kidney? It's very easy. Of course. Normally 1 million, of course, normally 1 million. Less, of course, when this individual is hypertensive. Then, what is the Malpighian corpuscle? What's the Malpighian corpuscle? Glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, renal corpuscle, loop of Henle, or distal convoluted tubule? Oh, sorry. Malpighian corpuscle, glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, renal corpuscle, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule. B. Yes, answer is B. So, Malpighian corpuscle, is it Bowman's capsule? This is renal corpuscle. So the renal corpuscle is the Malpighian corpuscle, which has capsule. Yes, the capsule, and glomerulus, which is capillary tuft. So the capillary tuft is the glomerulus and covered by capsule. Together they form Malpighian or renal corpuscle. Next, what are the food processes on podocytes? What are the food processes on podocytes? Visceral layer of Bowman's capsule, parietal layer Bowman's capsule, pedicels, juxtaglomerular cells, or macula densa. C, C. So, uh, yes, pedicels. And the pedicels are secondary. Yes, the secondary processes and they cover the capillary surface. The next. What vessel is a branch of the interlobular artery? So what vessel is a branch of the interlobular artery? Afferent, efferent, capillary tuft, peritubular capillaries, or vasa recta? Interlobular. Afferent, yes. So interlobular arteries are between lobes. They are located into the cortex. Yes, interlobular arteries are interlobal arteries between pyramids, and then are arcuate arteries, then are interlobular arteries into the cortex. Afferent arterioles, yes. What is the projection of the medulla into the renal cortex called? What is the projection of the medulla into the renal cortex? Medulla lobe, renal columns, nephron, or medullary rays? Projection medulla into the cortex. Renal columns. Medulla from the into the cortex. renal columns or medullary rays. What are? Because I have received two different answers. No, they are, so from medulla into the cortex, they are medullary rays. Okay, next. What makes up the juxtaglomerular apparatus? Pedicels, juxtaglomerular cells, macula densa, both A and B, or both B and C? Both B and C. So what are B and C? Juxtaglomerular cells and macula densa cells. Yes, juxtaglomerular apparatus, juxtaglomerular cells, and macula densa cells, of course. The next question. What vessels arise from the efferent arteriole? Yes, what vessels arise from the efferent arteriole? Afferent capillary tuft, peritubular capillaries, or vasa recta? E. Sorry. No, so from the efferent arteriole, usually the answer peritubular capillaries. Yes, peritubular capillaries. But what's the vasa recta? Vasa recta is formed from the arterioles, but these arterioles, if you remember the juxtaglomerular, yes, juxtaglomerular nephrons are which are located near the medulla, yes, near the medulla, juxtaglomerulosus, but usually peritubular capillaries. Which structure does the proximal convoluted lead to? Which structure does the proximal convoluted lead to? Proximal convoluted tubule. D. Loop of Henle. Yes, it's correct. What is the correct term for the food process on podocytes? Of course, you know the answer. Pedicels, yes, of course, you know the answer. And the next, which of the following is not a function of the kidney? Erythropoietin production, vitamin D modification, acid-base balance, aldosterone production, or renin production? Which of the following is not a function of kidney? B. B is not correct answer. D. Of course, D is correct. Aldosterone production. Aldosterone production is not function of kidney. It's the function adrenal gland. Then, what is the space between the renal pyramids called? Between renal pyramids. C. Renal columns, correct. Then, what is the capillary tuft of the nephron? Of course, you know this also, it's easy. capillary tuft of the nephron. What is the capillary tuft of the nephron? Glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, renal corpuscle, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule. Nobody want to answer. A, yes. Glomerulus, of course, the glomerulus. So what vessel supplies blood to the glomerulus? It's easy also, of course, glomerulus enters the afferent artery. I don't want this question. Where is renin secreted from? Where is renin secreted from? Visceral layer of Bowman's capsule, parietal layer, pedicels, juxtaglomerular cells, or macula densa? Oh, sorry. D. Juxtaglomerular cells. Yes, renin secreting cells are juxtaglomerular cells, modified smooth muscle cells. What are these straight vessels? Straight vessels. What are those straight vessels? Afferent, efferent arterioles, capillary tuft, peritubular capillaries, or vasa recta. Straight vessels. Which vessels are? E, vasa recta, yes, vasa recta, which is associated with loop of Henle, yes. So this is also very easy. What is the inner regier of the kidney called? Of course, you know this answer. This is medulla, yes. It's not interesting. The next. What is the double-layered cap on the glomerulus? Double-layered cap on the glomerulus. What is the double-layered cap on the glomerulus? C, B, C. I have received two different answers, B and C. So the cap of the glomerulus. Cap of the glomerulus, it's Bowman's capsule. Together, Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, together they form renal corpuscle or Bowman capsule. Next question. Where are podocytes seen? Where are podocytes seen? A, yes, of course. Podocytes, they are, they form, really they form visceral layer, yes, visceral layer of Bowman's capsule. Okay, the next. What vessel is formed from an aggregation of the glomerular capillaries? It's also very easy, afferent arteriole, yes. Okay, I don't want this question. What is the functional unit of the kidney? Functional unit, it's the nephron. Yes, nephron. Where they are located, nephrons? In cortex or in medulla? Nephrons. Where they are located? In cortex or in medulla? Yes, nephrons. In cortex or in medulla? Where are they located? So, I received one answer. Medulla cortex in both regions, of course, in both regions. Yes, nephrons are located in both parts of the kidney, in cortex, in medulla. They are starting from the cortex, then tubules move to medulla, then again back to cortex. So in both. Next question. So, which structure leads to the collecting duct? Which structure leads to the collecting duct? Distal convoluted tubule, yes. So what's the function of distal convoluted tubule? Reabsorption of electrolytes. Yes, reabsorption of electrolytes. Okay, what cells are sensitive to sodium concentration? What cells are sensitive to sodium concentration? Visceral layer of Bowman's capsule, parietal, pedicel, juxtaglomerular, or macula densa. D, or this is the answer, juxtaglomerulus. I don't know, is this the answer on this question or previous question? I don't know. But so the more sensitive cells to sodium concentration, the cells are macula densa cells. Macula densa cells. Macula densa cells, so they are modified cells of distal striate tubules. Yes, macula densa cells, and they are sensitive cells to sodium concentration. So the sodium concentration influence on macula densa cells. Then, how do you think, what is this? I'll show more hypermplification. For example, these tubules, they are proximal convoluted tubules. Yes, proximal convoluted tubule. This is proximal convoluted tubule. And this is the distal convoluted tubule. You can see more clear, more empty the lumen. Yes, the lumen is more visible here compared to this distal convoluted tubule and proximal convoluted tubule. And this is glomerulus. You can see the flat cells. Yes, parietal layer. Glomerulus. Yes, this is the glomerulus. Bowman space. then capsule, but we can see here only parietal layer, and the visceral layer is on the capillary staff. And this is here, this part, vascular pole, the tubular pole. So this is cortex or this is medulla? This is cortex or this is medulla? Okay, I'll show again. This is cortex or this is medulla. Why I am not receiving answers? This is cortex or medulla? Is it visible or not? Okay, this I'll show more. This is cortex. Why this is cortex? You can see numerous glomerulus. Yes, numerous glomerulus are here, and also projections from the medulla into the cortex, and they are medullary rays, tubular systems, medullary rays, and these are glomerulus. So this is cortex region. Now answer on this question. So this cell indicated by this question mark is what's this cell? Juxtaglomerular cell, macula densa cell, mesangial cell, podocyte, or parietal epithelial cell of Bowman's capsule. This cell. This cell, the nucleus of the cell. Juxtaglomerular cell, macula densa cell, mesangial cell, podocyte, or parietal epithelial cell of Bowman's capsule. Are you here or not? Or I have to answer myself? This cell. This is podocyte. Okay, this is podocyte. So the podocyte, nucleus of podocyte. You can see this is the membrane. There's the thick membrane, and you see here the pedicels of the podocyte and endothelial cells. So together they form the filtration apparatus. The next question is such: which of the tubules is generally the most permeable to water? Which of the tubules generally the most permeable to water? Which of the tubules is generally the most permeable to water? So proximal, yes. proximal convoluted tubules. Yes, the most of the absorption proceeds in proximal convoluted tubules. The next, identify the correct statement. I'll show. No more. Okay. Identify the correct statement. The principal function of the thin tubule of the nephron is the resorption of nutritionally variable substances from the primary urine. The filtration slit membrane between the pedicels of podocytes is part of the glomerular filtration barrier. Transitional epithelium, maybe you don't know transitional epithelium, but we'll talk about this in next week. Lining the tubules of the nephron allows the tubules to expand if large amounts of primary urine are formed. The incomplete basal lamina of the discontinuous glomerular capillaries facilitates the formation of the glomerular filtrate. Which one is correct? Four. No, not incomplete basal lamina. Not incomplete basal lamina. Here is very thick basal membrane, which is formed by basal lamina of the endothelial cells and the on the podocytes, which also are epithelial cells. Not incomplete. It's incorrect. Here is not incomplete. Here is very thick basal lamina. Yes, the second is correct. The filtration slit membrane between the pedicels of podocytes is part of the glomerular filtration barrier, of course. And so, what is this? How you think this part? Distal tubule, macula densa, glomerulus, or collecting duct? I think we have 5 minutes. Yes, approximately 5-7 minutes. This is distal, this part. This is distal tubule, macula densa, glomerulus, or collecting duct. This part. Now I'll answer. This is macula densa. It's macula densa here. Okay, the next question. How you think this cross-section of the tubule, this is proximal tubule, glomerulus, thin tubule, or macula densa? This cross-section of tubule. And this is macula densa, proximal tubule, glomerulus, or thin tubule. This is thin tubule. Yes, usually such tubules with a very thin, elongated nuclei, they are tubules of loop of Henle. Okay, last 3 questions and I'll finish. Again, you have to find but now you have to find incorrect statement, incorrect answer. So the podocytes form the visceral layer of Bowman's capsule. Then the osmotic absorption of water by the proximal tubule cells reduces the volume of the primary urine by about 75%. The filtration slit membrane between the pedicels of podocytes is part of the glomerular filtration barrier, and juxtaglomerular cells surrounding the afferent arteriole of the glomerulus release angiotensin II to increase glomerular filtration. Incorrect. You have to find incorrect. Yes, last one is incorrect. Last one is correct. Yes, good. And this situation. So the very important here is they are found among tubules having cells with prominent brush borders. Which one of the following statements correctly pertains to these epithelial cells? Sorry. Do I know answer? So, about which epithelial cells? The cells with brush border. Have you any answer? Okay, so if these cells which have brush border, of course, these cells are cuboidal cells of proximal convoluted tubules. Yes, of proximal convoluted tubules. If this is the proximal convoluted tubule, where proceeds the very active absorption, water. Yes, this is the primary site for the reduction of the tubular fluid volume. Yes, because here proceeds absorption of water. And the last question. Could you answer on this question? D. Yes, you are correct. D. So this is about basement membrane. Yes. Okay. Okay. Have you any questions now? No questions. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. We'll meet in next week. Goodbye.